I was about 15 years old, and I remember him just sitting down with me, being like, this is kind of like what you got to do, Aaron, in your future. And
The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names. It's a long list already. And of course, I already know who some of these individuals are.
okay, you're a grown man, and when Michael Jackson was alive, you are backing him, you are up his, you are kissing his. I felt like I was putting people at risk with my body too. That was scary. And what else scared me is that I didn't have the courage.
Maybe negative, but your system is still so weak that it can't fight off, a yeast infection.
Sorry, my heart is racing.
So what's the deal? Diddy's lawyer has officially quit, and the whispers are getting louder. Could the mogul be hiding something major? Let's find out. There's been some wild talk lately about Aaron Carter's mysterious death, with some headlines even suggesting it could be linked to Diddy. Shocking reports are saying the feds are taking a closer look at Aaron's death and his past connection to Diddy. Apparently, they're getting ready to update Diddy's indictment and add more charges. And now they're looking into the suspicious deaths of other people connected to Diddy, including Aaron Carter, who tragically passed away on November 5th, 2022, just one day after Diddy's birthday.
Where pop star Aaron Carter has died at the age of 34.
Yeah, the troubled performer grew up in the limelight, but he was in and out of rehab several times in his short life.
Aaron was a teen heartthrob in the 2000s and the little brother of Backstreet Boys' Nick Carter. But after his rise to fame, he went through some tough times with mental health struggles and substance abuse. Word is a lot of this stemmed from some pretty traumatic stuff that happened early on in his career, and now old photos are popping up of a young Aaron hanging out with Diddy. Back in the day, it's definitely raising some eyebrows.
Regret ever getting involved in...
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old.
Fans are starting to wonder if Aaron Carter could have been one of Diddy's youngest victims. But that's not the only crazy twist here. In the months before his death, Aaron was super vocal, claiming he knew some deep secret about powerful people in the industry. He posted a bunch of cryptic messages online, and just before he was found unresponsive in a bathtub, Aaron reached out to Kanye West, asking if they could talk.
Fence about Kanye for a minute, but in my opinion right now, Kanye, you stupid as.
And here's where it gets even crazier. Kanye later said Aaron was taken out by Harley Postek, his former personal trainer, who's also rumored to be involved with MKUltra and possibly acting as a celebrity handler. Kanye even claimed PTO threatened him, saying he would have Kanye institutionalized.
Kill Aaron Carter, and now they acting like they won't clear the Backstreet Boys sample.
So if you're wondering how all this connects to Diddy, well, Kanye has claimed that Diddy threatened him on behalf of unnamed Jewish people. And one of those people is allegedly Harley Postek, but that's just scratching the surface. The feds are reportedly diving into some wild allegations, including Diddy using poison as his method for silencing people. Now, Aaron Carter, Kim Porter, and Jamie Foxx, who narrowly escaped, are apparently under investigation for their deaths or near deaths. And on top of all that, sources are saying Aaron was about to spill some huge secrets about Diddy. He might have even been ready to link Diddy to this rumor. Hollywood ring of powerful figures who target young entertainers. So the big question is, did Aaron know something that was about to blow the lid off Diddy's whole operation? What really happened in Aaron's final hours, just when it seemed like Aaron Carter was finally getting his life back on track? The shocking news broke on November 5th, 2022, that he was found unresponsive at his home and declared dead at the scene. Aaron had struggled with addiction and mental health issues for most of his adult life, but there were still a lot of unanswered questions about what really happened in his final moments.
I go on my Twitter and I see people saying, you look like you have AIDS, you should go die. I don't understand how I dedicated 22 years of my...
At first, most people thought Aaron had relapsed, maybe overdosed, or even taken his own life. The police didn't initially consider his death suspicious. However, over the past 2 years, some really strange and disturbing details have come to light about his last hours. The first police report said Aaron's Housekeeper found his body in the bathtub, but the cause of death wasn't made public right away. An article from the LA Times, published just 2 days after Aaron's death, revealed that the LA County Coroner's Office did an autopsy, but officials said they were waiting on chemical tests to determine the cause. Normally, it takes a few weeks for a toxicology report to come back, but it wasn't until April 2023, 5 months later, that they finally released the results to the public.
We're learning that singer Aaron Carter autopsy results are being deferred. This is while police investigate the 34-year-old's death from over the weekend.
That's when the LA County medical examiner ruled Aaron's death as an accidental drowning caused by inhaling compressed gas. When this news first came out, most fans immediately linked it to Aaron's history with substance use, especially since for years headlines focused on his battles with addiction. Aaron had always been open about his struggles. On top of that, he also dealt with eating disorders and body shaming. And just a few years before he passed, he sought treatment for those issues. "I so skinny, and yeah, I'm still so skinny, and I don't you know, and yes, that was the biggest one for me because of all of Aaron's mental health challenges." Some people speculated that he might have taken his own life, especially given his strained relationship with his family and the lack of a solid support system. But then things started to take a strange turn. A lot of fans online began to feel like something wasn't quite right with the official story. People started digging up old videos Aaron had posted in the days leading up to his death, and in many of them he talked about feeling unsafe in his home and being scared for his life.
Go show off that house. My mom and my dad told me, "We're getting a divorce. You still have to go do this." I had to go show off all the stuff my whole life that was going to be taken away from me.
To add to the mystery, it was reported that Aaron's neighbors Anthony and Amanda Shavel, who were both medically trained, tried to help after hearing a 911 call over a police scanner. Here's where things start to get really strange. Aaron's house sitter reportedly refused to let his neighbors Anthony and Amanda Shavel inside to help, according to the Daily Mail. Amanda, who's a registered nurse, grabbed her defibrillator bag, ready to assist. But when they got to the door, the house sitter told them she couldn't let them in. Amanda later mentioned that the woman actually locked the front door, and they could hear her running away from it. Even more bizarre, when the police arrived just minutes later, the house sitter apparently tried to stop them from entering the house. A spokesman for Aaron told the US Sun, "It is with great regret that I confirm Aaron Carter was found unresponsive this morning in his home in Palmdale, California. The family has been notified and will be flying out to Los Angeles." Aaron worked very hard towards the end of his life in recovery to be a good father and to make amends with his family, unfortunately without proper recovery facilities available in our country and open borders. This is why we have an epidemic. An eyewitness at the scene on Saturday afternoon, local time, said it was chaos with police cars and news vans, along with neighbors standing around in the street. Devastated Melanie could be seen wiping away tears and hugging friends as she watched from the sidelines. Neighbor Tony Shavel, a local photojournalist, told the US Sun, "I have a police scanner for work and heard the call come in that there was an unresponsive male in the bathtub. My wife is a nurse and we headed over and banged on the door. She had her automated external defibrillator with her. A woman answered the door and was screaming, 'He's dead, he's dead,' but wouldn't let us in because she'd already called the cops. I spoke to Melanie afterward, and she said it was his maid and questioned why she wouldn't let us in. Melanie drove up from Orange County. She was distraught." A second witness said his house sitter was seen looking shaken and spent time speaking with police inside before being escorted out with belongings and bags. They added the house sitter was the only person behind the police tape for a long time. Melanie had to wait hours before police would even tell her anything, and she was desperate to see their many pet dogs still in the house. A close friend told the US Sun that they believe Carter did not die by suicide. He had been planning studio sessions with artists next week in Los Angeles to lay down new tunes for an album. You've got to admit that's pretty sketchy. Why would she try to keep the police out, especially if there was a chance to save Aaron? But that's not all. Another theory revolves around Aaron's ex-fiance, Melanie Martin. About a year before Aaron's death, it was reported that Aaron broke up with Melanie after finding out she was conspiring with his family to put him under a conservatorship. Many factors discussed with the police and coroner do not add up to a simple overdose. The child star's fiance told The Sun, "I want to know what really happened, so I can focus on raising our son Prince without constantly losing sleep on what happened to his father every night." His mother recently called for a real investigation because the coroner wrote it off as an accidental drug overdose, although she claims the family believes it may have been a potential homicide. Martin claimed that Carter's phone was not used in the 24 hours before he died, and later found in his car, although he was inseparable from his iPhone. She told The Sun, "I never saw Aaron leave his phone unattended, especially well away from where he was found." She said adamantly Melanie had also been arrested for an incident involving Aaron, and he later talked about it in a YouTube video explaining exactly what she had done to him. Aaron eventually filed for a restraining order against her and also sought custody of their son. Now, it's unclear if Aaron and Melanie worked things out before his death, and some sources claim they reconnected shortly before he passed. However, fans found it really strange that right after Aaron died, Melanie showed up with 2 moving trucks at the house where he was found. At that time, the police investigation was still ongoing. It's odd that she was even allowed to do that. And why did she need 2 trucks if she didn't even live there full time? She met the pool. I said, "How did the I was?" I didn't even know what to say. I said, "We get him with all the sketchy stuff surrounding Aaron's fiance." Some fans started speculating that she might have been one of those paid Hollywood handlers. As for Aaron's family, their relationship was known to be toxic. Aaron had previously accused his brother Nick of mistreating him and Asiel that their late sister Leslie had done things to him when he was just 10 years old, things she never meant to do. But hold up, because it gets even creepier from here. Some sources claim that Hollywood elites, those same individuals who have allegedly been protecting Diddy for years, were behind Aaron's tragic death. Apparently, Aaron was getting ready to expose some major industry figures. Just before he passed, the very last thing Aaron tweeted on November 4th, just one day before he was found unresponsive, was "Yo, Kanye, let's talk Manta Man now." If you remember, Kanye was facing massive backlash in late 2022 for his comments about the people running Hollywood. He lost almost all of his business deals and half his wealth within weeks. But that wasn't even the worst part. Just days before Aaron reached out to Kanye, Kanye had exposed his personal trainer Harley Postic for allegedly threatening to have him institutionalized.
At the pool. I said, "How did that I didn't even know what to say." I said, "Well, get him."
Kanye even shared text messages from Harley, and in one of them, Harley gave Kanye an ultimatum. He said that Kanye would either sit down and talk with him, or he would send him to an institution where they'd medicate the crap out of you and send him back to Zombieland forever. Harley also added play date with the kids. Just won't be the same. If you're wondering how a celebrity personal trainer could have the power to institutionalize someone, it turns out Harley Postic has a background in government. He used to work for the Canadian government Department of National Defense, employed at a military facility that researched substances and psychological operations. But it wasn't just Harley who was threatening Kanye. After Kanye started exposing the puppet masters of the industry, he revealed that Diddy was texting him nonstop and trying to meet him in person. At the same time, Diddy was asking for Kanye's address. But Kanye wasn't fooled. He responded, "This ain't a game. I'm you," as an example to show the Jewish people that told you to call me that no one can threaten or influence me. I told you this was war. Now go on and get you some business. Just when we thought the story couldn't get any more disturbing, recent reports have surfaced suggesting that Diddy may have done something to Aaron when he was a young pop star. Aaron's parents were the type of stage parents who pushed their son into the music industry at a young age, leaving him in the care of managers and handlers. Word on the street is that Diddy targeted Aaron and pulled him into his world of wild parties, which allegedly contributed to Aaron's struggle with addiction. Now, with the feds reportedly starting to connect the dots between the mysterious deaths of people linked to Diddy, there's hope that the real truth about what happened to Aaron Carter might finally come to light. What makes the story even more heartbreaking is that Aaron might not have been the only one Diddy targeted. It's possible that Aaron was just one of many boys traumatized in this way.
This is a trainer, but come to find out, he's actually Canadian intelligence, but this is my trainer. So this shows you the kind of handlers that are around the superstars of California.
In a similar vein, Justin Bieber's recent milestone of welcoming his first child with his wife Haley, a son named Jack Blues, Bieber has been overshadowed by troubling reports. Justin is allegedly still struggling with mental health issues, possibly stemming from unresolved trauma from his early days in the music. Industry rumors have circulated about Justin being victimized by Diddy and possibly others in the industry. With Diddy now facing a new lawsuit from a man who claims he was assaulted at one of Diddy's parties, fans are once again raising alarms about Justin and his past experiences with a mogul. Sources close to Justin have expressed concern, as despite the joy of his new arrival, his behavior has not shown signs of improvement.
Do you regret ever getting involved in...
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old because when I did MTV Cribs, the day that I had to go show off that.
Justin Bieber was recently spotted lashing out at young fans, sparking concern among his friends, who say he has severe anger issues that haven't been addressed. It's believed that much of his emotional turmoil stems from trauma experienced in his early days in the music industry. Many are wondering if Justin's behavior is the result of something horrifying that happened to him at the hands of Diddy and others in the industry. With allegations surrounding Diddy continuing to surface, Diddy's legal troubles have taken another turn, this time involving Derek Lee Cardello Smith, an inmate who has now put the brakes on Diddy's plans to sell any of his mansions or major real estate. Smith claims that in 1997, at one of Diddy's parties, Diddy spiked his drink and assaulted him while he was unconscious. In response, Diddy's legal team recently visited Smith in jail and attempted to offer him a $2.3 million settlement. This legal drama is adding to the growing list of troubling allegations against Diddy, which continues to raise questions about his influence and behavior in the industry.
I go on my Twitter and I see people saying, you look like you have AIDS, you should go die. I don't understand how I dedicated 22 years of my...
At first, most people thought Aaron had relapsed, maybe overdosed, or even taken his own life. The police didn't initially consider his death suspicious. However, over the past 2 years, some really strange and disturbing details have come to light about his last hours. The first police report said Aaron's housekeeper found his body in the bathtub, but the cause of death wasn't made public right away. An article from the LA Times published just 2 days after Aaron's death revealed that the LA County Coroner's Office did an autopsy, but officials said they were waiting on chemical tests to determine the cause. Normally, it takes a few weeks for a toxicology report to come back, but it wasn't until April 2023, 5 months later, that they finally released the results to the public.
We're learning that singer Aaron Carter autopsy results are being deferred. This is while police investigate the 34-year-old's death from over the weekend.